Hey everybody, it's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a pretty serious topic involving the election. If you have followed my Twitter for the last 2 months or so, you will know that I've been working closely with my local GOP here in Pennsylvania. They actually approached me back in early September on Facebook about me working for them because they had seen my public speaking events and my YouTube channel and all that crap. Of course, I accepted because I'm always pushing for more representation and younger voices within the Republican Party, even though I myself am not a Republican. So, I was like, yeah, I'll help out. This seems like a cool opportunity. I want to get some more experience under my belt, so sure. I do the contract. It was up until Election Day. I actually enjoyed it a lot. But I do believe that I had a first-hand point of view witnessing Democrat meddling in the election here in Pennsylvania, which everyone knows is a swing state and it's totally up for grabs right now. While I'm filming this, Pennsylvania was heavily leaning towards Trump 2 days ago, and now Biden is somehow in the lead because of the mail-in ballots, and I'm going to get right into that. So there's the overarching Pennsylvania GOP, and then there's different GOPs by county. I live in Monroe County, which is one of the most important counties in Pennsylvania in terms of this election. In 2016, Trump only lost here by 500 votes. So it's usually very close, and it's usually very polarized here. I've been door knocking here, and there's a Biden or Trump sign at every door. Literally everyone has a strong opinion either way. So there's the state GOP, the county GOP, which I was employed through, and we also share the office space with Trump Victory Pennsylvania HQ, I believe. So I don't think every state merges their Trump campaign and the Republican Party, because obviously those are two different things, but this election they merged them. They were sharing the same space. So that's where I was working. So through the Monroe County GOP, I was working on the Dulce Ridder campaign. She's running for state representative, and we don't know the results for that because Pennsylvania's taking their sweet motherfucking time to count the mail-in results. So that's that. There is a huge kind of conspiracy scandal within the Monroe County Republican Party here in Pennsylvania that I got to see firsthand, and I will be talking about in this video. So the state representative campaign I was working for here in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, was, I think, the victim of a sabotage by Democrats. I'm going to get right into that. So one day, my candidate, Dulce Ridder, who is running for state representative of Pennsylvania's 115th district, comes to me and is like, I got a call from one of my donors, the check bounced back that he sent to my P.O. box. And I'm like, okay, let's look into this. Like, let me know if anything happens. Have you been receiving other donation checks? And she says no. And she also hasn't been receiving any other mail of any sort. So all the lobby groups that send questionnaires to candidates, let's send a gun rights lobby group like the NRA sends a mailer to my candidate asking, do you support this pro-gun bill, or do you support this gun control bill? She cannot answer that because she never received the mail in her official campaign P.O. box. When the NRA or whoever that lobby group is releases their endorsements, my candidate cannot be on it, even though she is a Republican who supports the Second Amendment. So this goes for any other lobby group that reached out to her. So she didn't receive any lobby group endorsements because they never received any of her mail at that campaign P.O. box. They never received any of the checks at that campaign P.O. box. So we're like, what is going on? Of course, the campaign hits up the post office, hits up the P.O. box people, and it's like, what's going on? We do a little investigation. Turns out that the post office actually put a piece of cardboard over the slot in the mailbox, so no mail could be dropped in there. The P.O. box was still there, it was still in her name, and it was paid for, and I will show the receipt right now. As you can see, it was paid for 1 year, and that year was not up yet, so that's the proof that we have for actually owning that P.O. box. In addition to this, the output mail that we were putting out, mailers, letters asking for donations, things like that, we sent them en masse. So usually when you send thousands of mailers out, hundreds of mailers out, you're going to get a couple return to senders because people's addresses aren't correct, people's names aren't exactly correct. So we're going to get a few bounce back. We didn't get any bounce back. So we dig deeper. I start asking around. The Monroe County Republican Party's P.O. box was also cardboarded over. The pro-life pregnancy center here also cardboarded over. So that is 3 pro-life conservative or Republican organizations that were covered over, had their P.O. boxes sabotaged, were not able to receive donations, were not able to receive mailers from lobby groups, were not able to put mail out. So that is just meddling straight up. Me and Dulce actually took this very seriously. I ended up reaching out to a couple of different news outlets. I got her on Channel 13 News here, and a couple other articles were written about her. So I'll put the links to those in that description, and here's the clip from the news.
We begin tonight with a Monroe County candidate launching an investigation into possible postal fraud. This is the Pocono Report. I'm George Roberts. Dulce Ridder, who's running for state representative of the 115th Legislative District, hasn't received any mail at her Stroudsburg post office box. She tells us donations have been returned to sender. Her campaign has also discovered the Monroe County Republican Committee is dealing with what they're calling a compromised post office box. News 13's Nicole Walters joins us from the Stroudsburg post office with more. Nicole?
George, the P.O. boxes are located at this post office. A spokesperson tells us they are aware of Ridder's issue and it has been corrected. But we're told issues with mail during an election happen all too frequently here.
I have great respect for the postal workers, and this might be just one individual that's ruining it for everybody, but I'm speaking out because I don't want this to ever happen to anyone again. This is election interference.
Candidate Dulce Ridder for the 115th Legislative District has already filed a complaint with the Postmaster Attorney General and has contacted local postal investigators. She opened a P.O. box at the Stroudsburg Post Office on March 4th for her campaign, but didn't receive any mail. Then she didn't receive any returns after sending out a mass mailer in September. But she wasn't aware there was a problem until a friend notified her he sent a money order to her P.O. box and it was returned to him.
I sent it to her the 1st of October. It was a $100 money order. And then I got it back around the 17th of October. And it was stated as if the post office box was non-existent or inactive.
Ridder was told by the postal supervisor that there was a cardboard over her P.O. box slot.
That meant that it was either abandoned or it wasn't paid. Now, I paid it a year in advance. I never received any notification that there was an issue with my P.O. box. I never received a note inside my P.O. box because my key was always working.
Ridder has no way of knowing how many mailers and contributions she did not receive because she was told the post office cannot track P.O. boxes.
I was just wondering how many letters she didn't get, you know. And, you know, the way things are, this short time on an election, it's all, you know, crucial.
A spokesperson for the post office sent us this statement in part. The issue was corrected, and we have spoken with Ms. Ridder. We regret any concern caused to our customer. At first, Ridder accepted the apology as an oversight, but then she learned of numerous other candidates having the same type of issues over the years. And the Monroe County Republican Committee also had a compromised P.O. box this election.
There was nothing they can do about it, not even give credit for the 1 month that we had lost of not getting any mail. They said they didn't understand, but our name was not put on a list. The Monroe County Republican Committee name was not put on their list, so that mail would go into the box.
That's why Ridder is moving forward with the investigation and would like anyone who has had an issue with the Stroudsburg Post Office to contact her.
If it's brought out in an investigation that anyone in the post office did not handle themselves properly and they interfered with elections, that is a criminal federal offense and they need to be taken to task for it.
Is it a coincidence that the Republican running against the incumbent for state rep here, her P.O. box was sabotaged? The Republican Party here, their P.O. box was sabotaged. The pro-life pregnancy center, their P.O. box was sabotaged. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. And we have proof that Dulce paid for that P.O. box. We have proof that we never received those donor checks that we were supposed to get. We have proof that we never received those mailers from lobby groups that we were supposed to get endorsements from. And yes, we did file a complaint with the USPS, and when we asked them to do an internal investigation on it, they were basically like, oops, sorry, it was a mistake. We didn't mean to put the cardboard over it. You didn't mean to put the cardboard over 3 Republican P.O. boxes that we received no donations and no mail from. And we also weren't allowed to put mail out. That is straight up Democrat election meddling. It started small here in PA. It's just a state representative campaign, but then it grew bigger to the Monroe County GOP. Then it grew bigger to the whole pro-life women's pregnancy center. So what's to say that it didn't happen to other counties around here in Pennsylvania? I swear they're stealing the election because of this. They're stealing the election. They're tampering with the mail. I think it's very plausible that since they tampered with the P.O. boxes involved with the Republican Party here in Pennsylvania, that they could have just straight up thrown ballots out. They could have straight up thrown ballots out, faked mail-in ballots, the whole thing. Because if they're willing to do that, which is so obvious, we found out so quickly that they had covered up the P.O. box, that they're going to do some other devious ass shit. There is no reason that Trump could have been way up in Pennsylvania a couple days ago and is now losing. There's no way. And I'm telling you right now, as a person who lives here, worked for Pennsylvania GOP, that is not possible with all the fraud going on with the mailing system that I just detailed. So, to recap, Republican state rep campaign, pro-life pregnancy women's center, Monroe County Republican Party. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. All three of these organizations, their P.O. box was sabotaged and covered, so they could not receive donations, could not put out mail, and could not be on any endorsement list for any lobby groups. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, and I've proven it. I proved the receipts. I proved that we had an account there. It got in the news. I actually booked those interviews on the news. It's ridiculous. They're stealing this election here in Pennsylvania right before our eyes. It's fucking horrendous. Please share the links, share the news stories, look into your own local Republican parties to see if their mail is being stolen as well, because ours was. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry, this is a very serious and angry video, but this is serious. I'll see y'all later.